Hello fantastic creatures, I'm Fantasims and today we are reviewing the brand new Courtyard Oasis Kit that just came out. And for those of you with OCD, I didn't arrange it in the best way, but just think of it as me giving you free exposure therapy. So anyway, let's get into it. I think I'm just going to start with the front and work my way to the back, but my overall impression so far is that this kit pack is at like game pack level in terms of all the different pieces that we get. Alright, so let's start over here with the fountains, and it's designed in a Moroccan style, and I actually have some images of this exact same kind of fountain. Okay, so this kit is designed to look like the riads of Morocco, and a riad is basically like this outdoor courtyard area with a fountain, super highly decorative, and it has like all these nooks, like seating area nooks that you can go inside of. So here are some more examples, and this kind of star shape kind of matches the rugs that we're about to see in a second. So I think they did an amazing job at making it look just like the ornate carvings that you see here. And last one, this is another image that has, you'll see the trim that we get in this pack, you'll see the archway looks very similar to this right here. Now in the live stream earlier today, they did mention that they consulted with some sort of architect, I think, to make sure that the pack really represented the Moroccan style really well. So we have these star fountains that you can see here in all of these different swatches, and the green, blue, black, red, and other versions of blue. So the fountain colors match really well with the rest of the color scheme of this pack. We've got like the earthy brown tones, black, green, blue, and red. And each of these rugs, I love that these tiles are actual rugs because then you can place them wherever you want, and they match perfectly with the fountains. So if you place the fountain in the center, it acts as a really cool trim like that. Okay, then let's move on to these super detailed tables. I love the wood texture and all of this ornate detailing on the top. And I love that even on the straight trim one, there's some, for lack of a better word, slices through it just to add a bit more detail to it. And then look at the sides of these. I know these will work perfect for like the tops of towers or arches or whatever. You can use these objects for architectural details as well. And then it also comes with this little metallic top side table. The legs look really ornate. And ooh, even look, if you look underneath, it's really highly detailed. Look at that, all that detail in it. And then on the top, we have a really beautiful ornate pattern. And I love the way that they've done the highlights, like this ombre effect, so it really looks like metal. And it comes in kind of like a bronzy copper, gold, and silver. And that matches perfectly with these awesome little teapot collections. And I love that the glasses all have different colors. So we've got cool tones with the silver, we've got the mix of colors with the golds and coppers. And then this one is a clear version if you prefer that. And then these vases or urns are really awesome. Oh look, they've even put the drip on the inside, like when you get handmade ceramic and it's got like the dripped glaze inside of it. That's such a cool idea. And so all of these patterns and designs work perfectly with the tiling that comes with this pack, but they also include some more neutral ones if you're trying to go for a simpler design. Just even little things like the highlight on it, it moves with the lighting. It's got like a slight sheen but also a matte finish that looks really cool, and the shading is beautiful on this. Then we have these ornate lanterns in the copper and gold and silver. That's the theme that runs throughout, and I love how they've mixed the greens and blues and reds, just the bright colors, in with all of these lanterns, but that there are also some neutral tones. We have this beautiful jewel toned purple right here, and also here like a magenta type of purple. Those are really pretty. And then some more frosted glass ones for a more neutral design, and then the bright red one here. Okay, now we have the chairs that match the style, and I love these cushions. Look, even the edges have like this little flower design on it, and they're very highly detailed. I love the meshing in the back and just the shape of this. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I love to use the backs of couches and chairs as architectural objects for like roofing and pretty much anything that you can use this shape with, but I really love how that looks. And you've even got like the grains of wood running through it, and even the back has this carved detail, which makes it look really cool from the back as well as the front, which is awesome for a courtyard design. And the cushions on these are so cool, and I love that the colors just go together really well. I remember when I was reviewing Eco Lifestyle, one of the things that really frustrated me is that all the pillow swatches on the beds were yellow and black, but this one did a much better job with even the outlining, and the shading is just so good on this compared to other packs. All the creases in the fabric, it's those kinds of details that I really love. And you've even got like the puckered seams alongside the pillow, and there's some more neutral swatches as well if you don't want this really bright color scheme. And then the last piece of furniture is these palm trees, and they come with this tiling around the edge with this cool little wrought iron swirled fencing around it. And even the details on the bark look really cool, how they stick out three-dimensional and they've got nice shading. If you compare this to older versions of palm trees that we have in the game, the older ones just look very plasticky. And something they did really well on this is they also added a bit of like yellow ombre effect to add highlights to the leaves, so they look a lot more lively rather than looking kind of plastic. And they come in all the different tile designs that we'll see in the rest of the kit, like especially the pool trims or the platform trims over here. And then we have, like I just showed you, the palms, but these come in these really decorative pots that go really well with the urns, but they're different enough that they're not just like an identical pattern. I really love the design of this one, and even just the way that you see the highlights and the shadows and how it's that matte sheen to it, which I think is perfect for this natural ceramic look. And something they said in the stream that I thought was really good is that they made sure to only give it a 1 tile square footprint at the bottom. You see that green footprint? Because a lot of the bigger plants in the game have a massive footprint and they interfere with your sim's path, so your sim can't walk past them. So instead of making the leaves have a footprint like they normally do, they made sure that only the pot has the footprint. So it makes this a lot easier for decorating inside. It's not that you can put it right up next to a couch and your sim will still be able to walk past it. Okay, that's it for the furniture. Now let's look at the building details. We have these trims for platforms and they work perfectly alongside ponds, pools, fountains, and I've elevated the platform to 2 heights, so if you lower it you'll just get this very top trim right here, and if you elevate them they have the same coloring as the wall swatches that we're going to look at in a second. We've also got these very vibrant fences and they come in the same colors. One thing I will say about this pack is that the color schemes, the swatches match everything throughout, and as you guys know that's pretty rare in most of the packs. So the fact that they really made sure that each version of like doors and windows and everything follow the exact same theme so that you can match them up really well is really good. And I love how it has a bit of a weathered look to it, not too weathered, but it still looks like it's kind of old, and this very ornate intricate lattice design. And I love this kind of warm neutral tone wood, and then we've got the darker and the brighter ones, as well as some very vivid colors that you can use to match with the bright colors of the furniture. And then here are the wall swatches. It comes with different tiled versions. These 2 are the only ones that seem to have a complete wall version of the tile. These other ones don't, but personally I don't mind that too much because these patterns are so busy, whereas these don't look as busy as a full wall. Like if this was a full wall, that might be a bit intense. Let's zoom into this plaster effect. I really like that brushed on plaster look to it with the slight shading to it, so it has a bit of texture, and it comes in bright and neutral colors. The flooring doesn't come in every single color as the walls, but it does have the same dark blue, light blue, green, red, black and brown tones, so at least that does match with the rest of the tones of the wood and the other objects that we've already looked at. And they've done it in a way where these are the corner pieces, these are the side trims, and then this is the centerpiece, so it just makes it easier for creating your own trims around the pool area. So let's say we have this as the center, and then we put a corner piece, and then just using the period or comma key you can rotate them like that, and then put the side pieces in. And then you get your own blocked in tiled rug effect. And if you're familiar with this, if you hold down Control and F, it creates a corner tile, and you can even come up with maybe some different kind of patterns to your design where you can come up with your own ornate tiling. Now this stuff over here is my absolute favorite part of the pack. Do you see the level of detail on this, that carved stuff? I have been longing for carved design in this game for so long, and look at the ornate design of all this. And it has 3 neutral tones. It's got like a beige, a grey and a white, and there's 2 different versions of these spandrels right here in this category right here, and they work so beautifully. And the great thing about this is they've designed it to be smart, so that any kind of width that you choose, it will adapt it so that it has like the sloped edges here and then a smaller trim version up here. Let's see what it looks like for this version. I'm just going to temporarily delete this one, and let's pull this one wide and see. Okay, so that one does this pulled like lattice, pulled curved effect right here, and you can even make them 1 tile wide and have this really beautiful decorative art. And as you can see right here, here is a trim, a roof trim that follows the same exact ornate detailing, and if you put a trim on top of a spandrel you get some extra detailed effect. See, look at that, they go together really well. Okay, let's try the white one over on this one. Yeah, it just, all that detail together looks so cool. You can come up with the most intricate patterns. Oh, I'm seeing a glitch though. Uh-oh, they didn't think that through very well. There's some flickering issues when you partner the trim. Maybe when you put a column with it, maybe it improves it. Oh, okay. If you use a column, it gets rid of the flickering, so that's good to know. And of course, you can always lower columns as well to get a different kind of design if you like. That's awesome. Okay, so let's look at the columns over on this side. And the columns all match the tiling options and come in the neutral swatches. So the only downside to having a specific tile with a specific neutral tone is that, let's say you wanted this green tile with the more beige colored stone, that's not an option. But considering it's a kit pack, I do think that this is a lot of options for $5 US. And then of course these neutral tone ones, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to be using in everything for sure. All right, now since we're over on this side, let's look at the stairs. The stairs again match the tiling, and the railing matches the fencing, which is such a huge deal because in so many packs, even expansion packs, like they'll have a fence, but they didn't make a staircase to go with it. So it's really frustrating when you're trying to create a balcony and you want the fencing to tie into the staircase railing, and there's no option to do that. But with this kit pack, we get all the different colors of the fencing as railing. And let's just get a better front view of the tiles. There we go. You can see that design, that kind of star design in it. And it has a nice side trim tile to it as well, so that's a nice detail. Now let's look at the arched doors, and look at this. For the short wall version, look at that extra piece of wood at the front with all that detail, and it's got the painted design on it. So intricate. And I'm loving the brushed metal handles on this as well. And then I like that this is a bit more of a neutral tone blue to it and has like a darker design to it. And each of them have this little stained glass area at the top. So on the inside, that's what it looks like. And then these beautiful arches, look at that. And I love how on the inside it has a painted color. So it just gives it so much more color, especially since you know how ceilings are white and it gets frustrating that the underneath of a ceiling is always white. Well, at least with this, it gives you a lot of color option. And again, it comes with the same tiling and some of these neutral tones, which perfectly match with the columns and everything else. So for example, let's move this over. This has the blue and the green that ties into the blue and green of this one, but it's a slightly different pattern, which is great because this is so busy, like the tiling is so busy, that this way you can incorporate the same color schemes, but every single detail of the room is going to have a slightly different design to it. So for example, if we get rid of one of these arches, that way you can frame in the doorway, but it's interesting to look at because it's not just the exact same pattern repeated again and again and again. It has some variety to it. And again, we have these beautiful neutral tones, so you can use this in all kinds of different builds, and you can even make it work for like a medieval build or different themes, different cultures. And I mean, look at these doors, look at the detail on that. We've got the detail of the arch as well as the carvings of the door. I think these are the most intricate doors that we have, and the shading on everything is so cool. A lot of times in the game, a lot of objects lack that depth because there's not enough of a crisp dark line around everything to give it a sense of shadow, but this looks so good, and it comes in the fun bright colors as well, and the more neutral tones over here. And then look at these ones. These are archway doors that come with opened doors. I mean, the level of detail, I just can't get over it. I have no words. I'm just repeating myself over and over again because these look so cool. And then we've got these arches up here, and these even look like little lanterns on top, carved out as the hinges. So genius. And these beautiful, I don't even know, I want to say loopy, but I don't know the technical word for this, but that looks really awesome. And again, in all the different colors. And then we have a tall wall version of the arches over here in the exact same colors as these ones. And that will even look good if you use like a short one either side of a big one. That creates like a nice archway effect with different heights, something interesting to look at. And then last but definitely not least are these very beautiful ornate windows that match the painting designs of the doors. So that's going to look really good when you put them together. And they come in all the different kind of swatches as the rest of them. And then we get these beautiful little versions of windows that have a similar lattice design to the chairs and that star from the design throughout the tiling. And then the different tile edges, even the sides of the trim have that tile, that glossy glass tile look to them. And then more neutral versions. And these tie in actually perfectly with the base game windows. These ones right here, we got this update a while ago, and these windows have that same star type design, and these would go perfectly with this kit as well. So you can come up with a really cool build with just base game in this kit pack. And even with some game packs, it's hard to create an entire build, especially like the exterior with just one pack. But this one, I think for a kit pack, this incorporates so much stuff. Now, it doesn't come with any debug objects or live edit objects, but this already has a ton of stuff in it. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is worth $5 US? Let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely going to be playing with this for the rest of the evening, and probably for a few weeks I'm going to be doing nothing but this style of building. So I'll be sure to put out some videos for that. I hope you enjoyed this review of this kit pack, and until the next time, I love you guys so friggin' much.